is quite aloof, you say. So he didn't participate with the students a lot?
No, he was not really on a day-to-day activities or, in like that at that time. No, he did not interact with the students. I mean, certainly we didn't get in, for him to tell us how his pencil worked or anything like that. We were, he was not that close, and he didn't eat with the students. We might, and he was a sort of a figure that was, a magical figure that was, hovering over the school, but not in the school, as if you understand what I mean.
Well, Noel, when you were there, Ben Udi used to talk about how in the morning, since he was an Alpina boy, he went up to, instead of PT, he did yoga with JC.
Yeah, I remember hearing Ben describe that. That was pretty unusual, I think.
So when you were there, Noel, you didn't have that much interaction with JC?
Well, JC used to come down I think on Friday, he used to do a musical meditation. He had those huge speakers, according to Ian Barraclough, they were like state-of-the-art sound system. And he used to come down and play music and do musical meditation. And because he was an Alpiner, and I was also an Alpiner, I do remember once that he invited me and my roommate up to his flat or the loft or whatever, and we must have been there for hours. And he was talking about his kind of spiritual beliefs and reincarnation, and it just went over a huge range of topics. And I subsequently learned that periodically he would invite, one or two students up to the flat after dinner for conversation or listen to music or something. But I think what Ali was saying is more typical, which is he was pretty remote as far as many students were concerned, I think.
That might have been due to his health.
I could tell you that there wasn't one day that went by that we didn't see JC. He was very much. He did not go into the classroom to see how somebody was teaching, and I don't think he taught any classes. But he was in his office on the second floor most of the time, and you literally, if you needed to talk to him about something, you could. Mrs. Lowe was in the front, or Miss Lowe was in the front, and he had his office, and it was very, very easy to go see him over just about anything. And then I don't know if it continued, but they had council meetings once a month where they decided what rank somebody was going to be, and that was made up of the prefects, and they would vote on who they thought should be moved up from sweater to the senior badge to brevet to prefect.
Yeah, no, I was a counselor, and that continued. I don't know if it still does. I assume it still does. But yeah, he was always very directly involved, and I was always somewhat surprised because he seemed to have a very good understanding of each and every student that came up for discussion. And it was kind of interesting because he did not appear to be that engaged in the day-to-day activities, but obviously he had a very good network of information that was accurate. So I don't know if that was through the housemasters or other staff members. How
many students were in the school when you went there?
About 140, I think, at that point.
Wow.
160, because there were, at that point, there was Alpina, Belvedere, and Claremont. There were just the three houses, and then they added Delaware when the girls were introduced, and the boys from Claremont moved to Delaware.
And the girls moved to Claremont.
And I think at that point it maybe went from 140 to 160. I think there were only 12 girls to begin with, 12 to maybe got up to 20, and then expanded from there.
That's really interesting because, like I say, we were only 60 students, and I think I was, I think the school, Steve said, had only been going for about 12 years. And he was in the process of really expanding it. As a matter of fact, as I put in my essay, when I tried to get in there originally, Mrs. Lowe said, "Well, there's no room. We don't have any more beds." And when we went in and interviewed with John Corlette, he said, "Well, I'm going to make a bed for you." And he literally moved people around to get me into the school. And I think he was very much interested in building the number of people he had in the school. I don't know if when you went there, they still had sports day.
Yes.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, they had.
Yeah. And that was a big deal. I mean, that was a huge day. I would say when I was going to school there, most of the parents showed up for that. And, we prepared for it for a long time. And I would say that was one of his main goals, was to have a good sports day.
It's funny because sports day for us was intramural. You were competing against another house. You guys had one house.
Yeah, we have one house. And we were competing against each other.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
No, but we had three, it was divided into three groups. Like I was in, I had an all-purple shirt with a white collar. What was that?
There was Le Rocaille, La Fontaine.
No, La Fontaine, I remember.
Yeah, and I don't know, was the one Chanticleer, I think, maybe?
It could have been Chanticleer. I remember the shirts. One was a solid maroon shirt with a white stripe that went all the way through the middle. Mine
was La Fontaine. I still have that shirt somewhere.
Mine was solid maroon with a white collar. And I forget, but and then the other one was solid white with a red collar. Or with a maroon collar. And those were the three, what he called the three houses, but, so we competed in that manner, but we were all living in the same building.
But one thing which I want to ask everybody is, what color was the tie when you were there in the 60s?
Oh, the tie. He wants to know the color of the tie.
It was maroon tie.
All maroon?
It was maroon when I was there, maroon with
white stripes, yes.
But now it's changed. It's blue. When I went to Agro a few years back, I said, "Can I have a school tie? I want to buy a school tie." And it's blue with the crest, with the crest that used to be on the blazer.
Oh,
and I was disappointed.
Ali, I think I can explain to you about the blue tie. When we were there, and it was the red with the white stripe, it used to come from somewhere in Lausanne or down in the valley. I think it was maybe Beaumont Sports or something, and they used to supply all the school uniforms and the ties and everything. I think from that place. And then Louis Snyder knew someone in the States, someone who did logo wear or whatever, and I think he created that tie, the blue tie with the shield on it. And I think now he supplies, or whoever that contact is, I think supplies those ties. Because I haven't seen the old original tie in like forever. I don't know why it wasn't made, but obviously that's not being used anymore.
Because I really wanted to get the old tie which I used to wear every dinner time.
No. I remember that tie. Occasionally, I think people may have saved ties or whatever, because occasionally you'll see them in photographs, but I don't think you can buy a new tie like that. That's my understanding, at least.
I think we are only required to wear a tie and blazer on Sunday for dinner.
Oh boy, we had every day. Every day for dinner, we had a tie.
Dinner every night, and they will also check if your shoes were clean.